Hello everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I certainly am, because I am doing this stream right now. Shut up, Daniel, nobody asked. I just had like a, classic me leaving my stream on in the background. That was an actual stream, I did that a few days ago. I don't know which one it was, but it was some Tatarigoroshi stream. Like, I literally left my stream on in the background and I couldn't even hear it because I'm either really deaf or I just didn't hear it. It was really quiet, probably. Let's hope it's the latter. God, I don't want to be deaf. Right, yeah, how's everything? So, yeah, it's fun. Right. I am very excited to play today. I have a feeling it's gonna, I have a feeling it's just gonna hit the fan, but yeah, who knows. I don't want to go over like maybe midnight though, because yeah, I do actually have to get up tomorrow early. Gotta move my webcam a little. Right. Okay, everything should be good to go. Yeah, okay, let's begin now. Wait, hang on. My webcam just feels really bad at the moment. I don't know why. It's kind of... That's annoying. Okay, maybe if I do this. Yeah. Yes, that's fine. Right, so, yeah, I guess we're gonna begin now. Yeah, so 11:56 p.m. My favorite, my favorite time. I went home and washed the day sweat off in the shower. Normally I could reset everything by taking a shower and forget all the bad things, but that didn't happen today. I got out of my shower to find fresh underwear placed neatly in the laundry basket. Normally I didn't stop to think about it, but today I felt happy in my mother's consideration. At the same time, however, I realised how my satoko must be suffering. Nah, that's really true. Like, I can't really say anything else, it's just true. It really is. At the very moment I was appreciating this gentle kindness, Satoko might be bruised by her uncle's cruel words. I went up to the second floor and shut myself in my bedroom. Then, facing my desk, I folded my arms. Oh, I don't blame him. My topic of thought was, of course, Satoko. We thought that if we could just get a public agency to intervene in the right way, the problem would be solved. But with what Coach said, I didn't think it would be so easy. Satoko was so obstinate. She would stubbornly deny the abuse and try to endure it. And that was an act of atonement towards Satoshi, who'd protected her before and ran away. As long as she thought that way, the situation wouldn't be so simple. But earlier, before Coach, I made a clear decision. If I thought Satoko was in danger, then I thought I would do what I had to do. In the end, that meant I was going to wait and see too. Nevertheless, I thought I'd draw a clearer line than Coach or my friends had. Oh no. Right. I thought... Okay, if the time came, I thought I would report it over the phone. Given Satoko's personality, she might criticise me if she found out, but I believed it was ultimately the best decision. Wait, my bad, Katie. Would that really be all it took for the problem to end? Say that I reported it to a public agency like the Child Prostitution Centre. What if they stuck to their wait and see attitude like last year again? Yeah, I suppose it's one of those things, like, trying definitely wouldn't be like a bad thing to do, but at the same time it's just how futile was trying gonna be. Oh, simple situation improving temporarily. I wasn't aware of that. But then the aunt, thinking of herself as a laughing stock and crew, increased her tummy. What? I didn't realise that. God. In the end, things became more underhanded than ever before. This year it was her uncle. I just had seen him for the first time today, but the man seemed more direct, much more violent than the word underhanded could imply. It wasn't like their aunt, no, not that subtle. He was more direct. Mike was all assaulted with punches and kicks. God. I don't know. The saddest thing is it's not unlikely. Because you saw when he said about the whole bruises and injuries that Satoko was wearing, apparently. Like, that could easily be discerned from the bruises and such as from Satoko's body. Yeah, like, well, I was just saying, yeah. Shit, you're too naive, man, about Katie. However it might seem to report what was happening. If it doesn't say but then it doesn't mean anything. Reporting things to our police agency was only one option, and leaving everything to them would be dangerous. Yeah, we would need something more to guarantee Satoko's safety. I scratched madly on my head then, and thinking, then tilted it back, wanting at least a little bit of calm. The memories of angry arguing with my friends today came to my mind. Oh, I was embarrassed that I hadn't realised it until then I said something. She was right, and my house is big. Compared to all the houses with the straw thatched roofs in Namizawa, it was really big. We did actually have empty rooms. I never thought that we were affluent, but also never that we were poor. I just didn't admit it because people would think I was arrogant, but maybe my family really is wealthy. We had a few rooms we could lend to Satoko. The guest rooms are only in use when people that raise related to my dad's job come and stay once in every while. Plus, we cleaned up a few of the rooms my dad uses for storage. They work for her as well. As for food expenses, that might have been a more serious problem than I could imagine. Lunch every day would be manageable. All of our friends would just have to bring a little more for lunch than they usually did. With everyone picking everyone else's food every way, it would be manageable. For breakfast and dinner though, that would have to be up to Mum. I would need to convince her to lend Satoko more than just a room. Of course, I don't even think convincing her of that would be easy. Nah. About how much did it cost for one person to eat? How many tens of thousands of yen per month? They couldn't complain about if I shouldered that, could they? I mean, to be fair, it's tens of thousands of yen, but like, his parents seem like nice people. I think any nice people with money, they'd be willing to pay that. Because of how much benefit it has, you know? Or at least I'd hope so. I only had 20 or 30,000 yen in savings, but it was something. Oh. I actually had even more thanks to Uni's gifts and such, but my parents had taken all of that and put it into a fixed time deposit. Oh damn. It's annoying. If I could get access to that, I should have to a lot of money, and if I got that far I should ask Mion or Lena to share some of the burden. Of course I wouldn't depend on that, and then I got mad at me, didn't she, about how I should just sub my responsibility onto others. I'd have to ask for help, even so I'd basically be saying it myself. I'll follow through on it. Oh, but it wouldn't only be food expenses. There was a lot of things you couldn't do without, like baths and laundry. My mother was also really methodical and strict about cutting out inefficiencies, and for once that was troublesome. Oh yeah. Oh god, she's got like the environmentalist approach. She might even make us reference to the money it would cost for the detergent Satoko would use for her own clothes. Couldn't think of only about food expenses. I needed more money. Yeah, it's the saddest thing about life, money. It's so needed by so many people, and yet there's just some people who they just drown in it. I mean, if you do well in your life, I suppose you can become one of those people. But like, not everyone can, even if they do well, which is the fuck thing. Hey, wait, my about Katie, since when was all this about money? Even if you could afford it, you would need your parents' permission first. They'd be looking after a young girl for a really long time. What should I say to persuade them? Just calm down a little bit, my about Katie, and you'll realise right away that you can't. Even if you ask them seriously, they will tell you to call the police. Yeah. Even if you manage to gain the rank of the rich, why should the Mayabara family have to shoulder all the burden by itself? That's what would happen. That was it. It was very sad and frustrating, but no matter how much I wanted to help. My resolution alone couldn't save anything. Okay, is really this powerless. If I was frustrated, I believe my feelings were stronger than everyone else's. I even thought they were stronger than coaches. Damn. And yet, at this point, there were two knocks on my door and Mum poked her head inside. Are you awake? Are you awake? I've been calling you for dinner for a while. Oh yeah, I'm coming. Oh, I wonder As someone financially dependent on parents, I shouldn't say this, but I just sat around doing nothing and food suddenly appeared. It felt so natural to me that I shamelessly thought of it as a responsibility of the parents who given birth to me. But when I realised the natural thing was actually a right, I came to realise just how hard it was to grant that privilege to others. Yeah, even the boring meal in front of me, no better than it ever was, had more meaning than that tonight. Wait, meaning than what? Oh, yeah. There was food for free on the table right now for Dad, Mum, and for me. I couldn't imagine how hard it would be to add another place to that table. It'd still be worth it though. Think my about Katie. If it was hard to make food for 4, just think about how 4 people could eat food made for 3. Well, I suppose they could, especially if they made a lot. Oh, I changed around the way I thought, and without having begun to consider an unthinkably bold plan. That's right. I didn't need to get my parents' permission. She should just live there in secret. Oh no, that's even worse. But I suppose that could work if they were really, really desperate, which they kind of are. I don't know. I got upset when I found out a while ago, but I remembered right. If you climbed out of the window, then shimmy down the first row roof or the gutter, you could go in and out of the house directly from my room. Oh. Satoko's physical ability vast surpassed my own, so it would be even easier for her. I hadn't even thought about it, but her living here was secretly actually a necessity. I'd only have to wait to bring Satoko to my house when the public agency said they would wait and see. Yeah. In other words, if Satoko's uncle continued to be her guardian, if in such a situation word got out that she was here, her uncle would barge in and grab Satoko back with him. Yeah, they can't know about it. That's the problem. I was thinking the same thing. Oh. Her uncle was the rightful guardian, so my parents would hand her over without no argument, no doubt. So I needed to keep a secret that she was living here. If it needs to be a secret, then having my parents' help would mean a lot, but you got to deceive your allies first, like they always say. Yeah, I suppose. Okay, persuading my parents was an unrealistic proposition, so I'll search for a way to have her live in secret. When I was around, she would just have to be really quiet in my room on the 2nd floor. The issue was the daytime. If she was hiding from my uncle, then she shouldn't go to school. Oh, shit. Oh, I suppose you could come in any moment. Fuck, it might be lonely, but not. And going would be the better option. I could literally teach Satoko the stuff she learns in her grade. Oh, actually during school I mostly help all the younger kids out rather than studying my own stuff. During the day I would need to go to school, so I wouldn't be at home. My parents were staying in my privacy now that I was this age, so they wouldn't go snooping around in my room while I was gone. Oh, that's awesome. I think if you would herself up in my room, it would be okay, right? If my parents did come, thanks to where the 2nd floor was, she could hear their reproach from the sound of them coming up the stairs. Yeah, and if you think, like, somebody this good at trap games, for example, and just sneaky stuff, yeah, I somehow don't think they're gonna, like, get caught, you know? And there would be a little bit of time before they got all the way up. I estimated a few seconds that she would be able to hide herself in the closet with... Wait, Kitty, something doesn't make sense. If she can't go to school, then what will she do for lunch? Oh, fuck, that's true. I mean, in theory, if he was really thinking about it, what you could do is just... You could either donate some of his lunch, or... I don't know. God, that's tricky. I mean, he can maybe just get all of his lunch and then donate it to her, or he could just share his lunch, or he could maybe lie that he's taking his breakfast to school or something like that. Say, oh, I gotta go in my room, and then just give half of it to her. Something doesn't make sense. If she can't go to school, what should she do? Calm down already. I could just leave her on my own lunch, couldn't I? Yeah, I should just go to school without lunch and get everyone else to split theirs with me. Okay, that's good. No more contradictions or oversights, right? Oh, breakfast and dinner. Yeah. I guess I won't get her to go without breakfast. I can go with 2 meals on a day when I sleep in on Sundays after all. Well, I suppose. Every night I pretend as though I had a bigger appetite, then asked for a bigger helping. Oh, and then I could just somehow get part of that satoko. That is smart. As a test. I took up from my seat with a plate of fish in my hands. What's for Katie? Sit down and eat your food. Please. I'm well. I'm kind of not in a good mood. Could I eat up more? You'll make a mess. Eat dinner with the table. Hey, sorry. Hey, wait. I only tried to take away 1 plate of fish and they ganged up on me. In reality, it was possible for me to smuggle food away without my parents knowing about it, but it must have been worth taking the time to think about. There must have been some trick, some method to avoid them realising. Even if I can't think of one today, I might think of one tomorrow. I'm gonna be real, I have a feeling, like, because these parents, they do seem like genuine people, you know? I have a feeling if he told them, then they'd probably make an exception. I think it's one of those things, it's worth a try, but at the same time, like, the bad consequences could be really bad. My appetite was rapidly fading, so I finished early and went back to my room. I went back there and tried to think about it from Satoko's point of view. For example, let's say my parents were coming up the stairs right now. I've got to hide. I opened the closet, a classic ladder. It didn't open quietly. Hey, wait, didn't it always open real smooth and quiet? Why was it suddenly doing this now? Was the house even structurally safe? Oh my god, was it already showing signs of dilapidation, or were the hinges just not greased well enough? Could I apply some lubricating wax? Oh my god. My son herself may have been soft, but it left me uneasy as to whether my parents would detect it happening when they climbed the stairs. But this was an easy problem, I could do something about it. I just had to fix it up a little bit so it didn't make noise anymore. For now, I closed myself in the closet aside, as though I successfully hid. I basically always let my hood on out on the floor. I couldn't think of any real reason my parents wouldn't want to go into my closet, even though there still might be some reason they would. I need to construct some sort of camouflage so that she wouldn't be noticed even if they did open it. But the more she worried about that, the less time she'd have to actually hide, meaning the more likely they'd hear a noise. And then I suddenly had to go to the bathroom. The bathroom? They need to use the toilet so obvious, and yet such a fatal flaw. Fuck, that's true. The only bathroom was on the first floor. It would be absolutely impossible for her to use it without my family realising. I might need to set up a portable toilet, like a chamber pot or something. Satoko would hate it, so she could go into my room. But the stench would be pretty terrible. Anyone sensitive would probably notice the smell without even coming into the room. The bath was okay though, she could just take a bath when my parents were out. But I couldn't do anything about the toilet when her stomach started to hurt. If my parents were lazing around downstairs, she'd be in trouble. Yeah, it was then that I noticed that I've been clawing at my head with both my hands. Weird. I sat down in the dark closet with my knees against my chest. I buried my face in them and tore my hair. The more I thought, the more contradictions popped up. The more I thought, the more things failed. And the more I worried, the more I was reminded of how little power I actually had. My back started to hurt from staying in a blank place for so long. But if I was to show this, I thought I would need to force her to feel this pain. Yeah. To live in such a dark, narrow, suffocating place forever, but it would still be better than being abused by our uncle. So I wanted to think. It got hard to breathe, so I gave in and crawled out of the closet. I looked at the clock, and to my surprise, it was 3:30 in the morning. What? It had felt like so little time, but it was so unbelievably long. When I realised that, I was slammed with a terrible urge to sleep, as if the time had only just caught up with me. I didn't have enough strength to fight it, and I fell flat onto my head. Shit, I can't go to sleep like this. If I waste any time, that'll mean I'm taking the wait-and-see attitude that Mjorn and Coach and everyone else did. Oh god, no, don't get into that mindset. You need sleep. I mean, he's actually, to be fair, considering for how tired he is, he's thinking really rationally. And he's really thinking maturely about it, but still, I think, like, you need sleep if you're going to want to, you know, if you're going to want to actually solve this, and sometimes a fresh mind is all you need. And keep in mind, like, if you get sleep, the sooner you'll be able to discuss, like, your query about what should happen to everyone else, really. I needed to keep worrying about other rescues article for a minute, or even a second longer than everyone else. Isn't there a better way? Isn't there a better way? Oh! Oh, praise I sped to myself, swirled around in a spiral, and steadily took over my entire mind. For my last moment of consciousness, I thought, there are a lot of blind spots in what I considered tonight, but I absolutely wasn't wrong for having those ideas. Tomorrow I will suggest this bold plan to the others. Mule might be able to help somehow, and then I was really smart, so she might have a good suggestion. And above all, we needed to rescue Satoko once again, with everyone helping out. I felt pathetic for letting myself fall asleep. I'm sorry, Satoko. Oh god, so he's not even sleeping. Well, we got the black bars, so maybe he is. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting seeing what the next day's like. Hope progress is made. The ceiling blurred into view. It was hot. There was a thin layer of moist sweat on me. The voices of the cicadas permeating my room was someone grating to my head. What? Today's not Sunday, is it? What? I remember today was a weekday and quickly brought myself to consciousness, and then I finally leaped out of bed. The clock read a little before 10. Oh fuck, I was totally late. When I wandered downstairs, my mum would get mad at me. There was nothing I could do though. After reviewing the schedule for the school day for a moment, I suitably rearranged my stuff into her bag. I hurried and got dressed and then went down the stairs. Oh, there was no sign of my parents anywhere. Maybe they went out for somewhere together. So that's how it was. My mother had probably woken me up once this morning, but then I fell back asleep without even remembering it. And my parents, thinking I'd gone to school, left. Something like that probably happened. Oh, I went to the front door and as I expected, it was locked. Looked like I was right. It was further evidence of my speculation being correct. When I realised my parents weren't here, I suddenly felt less like I had to rush to get to school. Oh, there was one pot in the breakfast I left in the dining room. Probably mine. The milk they poured in it had gone warm since a while ago. Ugh. When I realised how hard it would be to sneak food for Satoko. Yesterday, I had cried. Well, thinking back on it, food wasn't the only issue in that regard. I wasn't in a position where I could care for Satoko by myself anyway. It was such a heavy thing just to save a single person. I see this on TV and in comics all the time. Those feel-good words about how you save friends for sure and such. Was that why I ran my mouth like that, swearing to save her because I wanted to feel good about it? No, that absolutely wasn't true. Because if I told us I couldn't save her, because I didn't want to think like an adult like her. Couldn't do anything but watch. As I got on to school today, I immediately realised that was a meaningless question. Whether or not she did, there wouldn't be a change in the environment she'd been placed in. If I couldn't save her, then no one else could either. And then we could only play for a miracle. Are we so powerless? With a vague goal of getting to school in mind, I was like I'm so put on my shoes and stumbled out the front door. I had only overslept by 2 or 3 hours, but the sunlight and air felt completely different from how they usually were in the morning. Well, of course I did. Once 10 o'clock came around, you could barely call it morning anymore. I didn't feel like walking the same old route to school. I needed to ultimately end up there, but it was like I didn't want to choose the shortest route and the most proactive one to get to school. But put in a more positive light, maybe I wanted to get some time to walk by myself and think. I had to go to school partly to make sure that Satoko was safe, but I hadn't come up with any plans yet, nothing since last night. So the path I took from my house was in the complete opposite direction. If I went this way, I passed Denar's house and the dam site. It would be quite a detour. I calculated how long of a detour it would end up being. Then, satisfied with the answer, I decided to walk. Denar had brought me to the dam site a few times. One section of it had turned into an unlawful, oversized garbage dump, and then I really liked going fishing for junk in there. Without that, she'd come off as a completely normal girl too. I can think of a few other qualities she could do without, but however, 3 letters, H-A-U. Wonder what that is possibly implying. The view quickly opened up wide and I was hit by a strong wind. There was no shelter here at this big dam site. Maybe it was a good thing I came here, I thought. At the very least, it was more healthy to think about stuff in a place like this instead of my cramped bedroom. I could take a deep breath and fill my lungs with the rich, cold air unique to Hinamizawa. Ring, ring. I turned down round, afraid of it was a bicycle bell. Considering where I was standing, I don't think they were trying to get me out of the way. They just rang the bell because they wanted something from me. Oh, it's Tomitake. Yeah, excuse me, you're from Hinamizawa, right? Yeah, that's right. I've seen this person around a few times. Right, I remembered. His name, I think, was Tomitake, a freelance photographer who lived in Tokyo. He was jealously with the Hinamizawa every season to take pictures or some yawn, and the others told me, I think. Oh boy, Tomitake is here. I mean, I get that he doesn't have any bad intentions or anything, but this dude, he just brings bad stuff wherever he goes, and of course, if he's here, Watanagasi is here, and that's just like a whole other level of shit going wrong, really. Could you tell me how to get the Higurashi shrine from here? I think I left my map at the inn. I don't know where to go the shrine from here. I know where everything was in my head, but explaining how to get there would be difficult. I was a little irritated at having been bothered for this, but when I realised it meant my detour was actually meant something, the feeling faded quickly. I'll say you, but it's a little bit different to explain. I could bring there if you don't mind. Really? I'll be in your debt. Thanks a lot. But are you sure? Did you have something to do? Tomitake-san finally appeared to have realised how strange it was for a student like me to be here at this time of day. I smoothly told him not to worry about it, but then turned my back and started walking to his Higurashi shrine. Tomitake-san hurried to turn his bike around and come after me. Oh, sorry, don't worry, all guys have times when they need to split up from the back and be lone wolves for a while. What a free-minded freelancer. It was easier for me too that he was under that impression. I'm Tomitake, a freelance photographer. I specialise in wild birds and landscapes. I'm still pretty unknown though. It seemed absurd for him to introduce himself when I was showing him to the shrine, but he gave me his name, so I needed to give mine back. I'm Mayabara. Pleased to meet you, I guess. Mayabara-kun, pleased to meet you. He seemed like a pretty silly man, but that felt good considering I'd been suffocating with warrior the satoko all night. Along the way, Tomitaka-san spoke to length to me about the precious nature in Yomizawa was, and how it was a treasure trove of rare wild birds, despite my not having asked. I wasn't interested in what he had to say, but he seemed to be enjoying himself, so I left him to it. Oh, that's nice. He says we'll take you up to the shrine grounds. Thank you, you really helped me out. I think I'm a little late. Relatable. Relatable to a certain somebody. As Tomitaka-san mumbled to himself, he left his bicycle nearby and started to climb the stairs quickly. I didn't have a watch, but as far as my internal clock could guess, it was still a little late in the morning. School wasn't very far from here. Maybe I could kill a little more time until then. With that in mind, I went up the steps in pursuit of Tomitake-san. When I reached the top of the long staircase, I arrived at the wide open shrine grounds that were too grand looking for this tiny village. They do look really cool, to be fair. Tomitake-san. Oh, there he is. You were supposed to be meeting someone here. And then he got lost and ended up being late. He was bowing to a lady who must have been the person he was meeting. I was Takono. This lady, I knew her. Oh, was that you, Mayabara-kun? Hello, are you off from school? Today? Wait, how does she know him? Oh, is it EDS Clinic? What? Oh, Mayabara-kun, you follow me. I wasn't really planning to, I just wanted to kill some time. Oh my, arriving at work like an executive, how refined. You certainly are famous, taking the time to look like a big shot. Was I a celebrity? Was he did say my name out of nowhere anyway? I was oddly concerned about what she meant by famous. Oh, you still don't remember my name? This is Mio Takano-san. She works at the village clinic. Mayabara-san, you seem healthy, so you probably haven't been to the hospital much, have you? Now that we're finally acquaintances, the next time you're sick of anything, or anything, I suppose I'll give you a little bit of special treatment. Sauce. This lady named Takano-san, I kind of didn't remember her. Maybe we passed each other on the street a few times, but I was pretty sure this was the first time we talked. Well, this is Hinamizawa. Even if I didn't know a person's name, it's not unusual for them to not to know mine. Oh. I glanced at Takano-san and she said she had a bag and camera. Are you photography partners? Was that why you were meeting each other? Oh, we're nothing like partners. I am but an amateur, and Jiro-san is gently initiating me into it. Right? That's not it at all. Takano-san is a quick learner. She could take pictures just fine without my guidance. Damn. I mean it. I couldn't tell which of them was ahead in the conversation. Well, there was certainly one couple you wouldn't get tired of watching. The festival is finally coming up the day after tomorrow? Oh my god. Shit. I hope I can take some good pictures this year. I plan on taking some shots of the setup tomorrow. I wanted to capture the festival energy shown by the preparations for it too. Oh, I just remembered there was some village festival with the Watanagasi or something the day after tomorrow on Sunday. They hold the service with a pile of old titons in order to give thanks to Hinamizawa's guardian deity Oyashiro-sama, I think. Oh, you're correct. You have quite extensive knowledge despite having just moved here. Yes, it is a festival to give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. A little bit more than that, I think. Takano-san smiled somehow immediately, but didn't tell me what part of a festival to thank Oyashiro-sama need to be laughed at. Pretty to be his enemy, Takano-san. But I do wonder what will happen this year. You know what they say, if it happens twice, it will happen a third time, and it's already happened 4 times, and there's evidence that it won't happen a 5th time, don't you think? I knew what they meant by the whispers exchange. On the day of the Watanagasi, a freak death always occurs, which people call Oyashiro-sama's curse, and disappearance occurs that people call being demoned away. These strange events had happened 4 years running, and Watanagasi, rapidly approaching the day after tomorrow, marked the 5th. Oyashiro-sama was a curse on the enemies of the village, huh? What about Tepe? He's an enemy of the village, isn't he? If he doesn't happen this year, I wonder who'll find himself at gunpoint. Oh, and I always come here to pray and donate money whenever I visit. It won't be me for sure. Well, if you stick to the shrine, it will be. Oh, is that so? They say that Yasudo-sama has been especially harsh on outsiders recently, you know? Maibara-kun may have just only moved in, but he's a proper member of Hinami's. But Yujiro-san, a stranger who only comes once a year. I wonder how he will let you go this year. The Sash. Tomitaka-san was the only one with a pained grin, but we all were smiling, me included. Oyasudo-sama, the one after a curse, who used the gas to kill people involved with the dam construction project, one after the next. He killed the dam construction man, killed Satoko's parents for supporting it, and the next year he even killed her aunt. I don't get it. What does the aunt's relation have to... What's the aunt's relationship to the dam project? Was she a supporter? Like the Hojo parents were? If the demon way was part of the curse, then you could add salt to see if the list of victims. As I thought about it, I realized that in the serial rate death episodes, the overwhelming majority had the last name Hojo. How the deaths and disappearances had come from the Hojo family? The Hojo family lived here in Hinamizawa. Did that mean all Yasudo-sama punished and cursed them particularly harshly? Because despite that, they hadn't been in favour of the dam? Have you heard the news that Satoko's uncle has returned? It's going to be interesting. Takono-san, who had been enjoying a few words with Tomitaka-san, was caught unaware by my sudden inquiry. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? Satoko's parents were killed by the curse and her aunt too. So I was wondering that if you went in order, her uncle would be next. Havan has a miserable death from the curse last year, and uncle let his fear take over and fled into town, right? Oyasudo-sama doesn't allow people to try and abandon the village, does he? I hadn't intended to be quite this persistent, but those words, they just flowed out of my mouth without me thinking about it. Right. Oyasudo-sama's curse. I didn't believe in something so unrealistic, of course, but the fact was that every year unfortunate accidents and incidents happened to the enemies of the village. Like Takono-san said just now, it had happened 4 times. No one can say there wouldn't be a 5th. What the fuck is that? Oh, you've got to be fucking with me. There's a massive fucking mosquito in my room. Brilliant. Just the bollocks I need. So I got to play scary visual novel game with bastard mosquito or mozzie or whatever. Ugh. Like Takono-san just said, no, it had happened 4 times. Nobody could say there wouldn't be a 5th. That's an interesting suggestion. Is it true that if you look at those sacrificing in the previous year, the name Hojo comes up frequently? Given how long it's gone on for Uncle being the one to die or disappear this year, isn't out of the question. Oh, I suppose. I mean, if he realises the truth, he can, he can kind of realise what he could do. Let's just say that. Yo, welcome Trick. How is it going? He. Not again, Takono-san. Don't laugh about it. It could really happen. I'm sorry, boy. I suppose I'm discussing my life work. Takono-san gave off a mysterious amount of intellectual impression, and her life's work was mysterious in its own right. She probably really liked inexplicable supernatural phenomena or something. Takono-san, you seem like you know a lot about Oyasudo-sama. Give your honest thoughts. Given that he's a Hojo and that he's returned, what are your chances that the uncle will fall to the curse? Right, you seem like this really uncle when this uncle's dead. That's not... I wonder. It all depends on the whims of God. Oh God. Oh my God! Maibara-kun, do you know the true identity of Santa Claus? Oh, I got a strange question all of a sudden. I couldn't immediately answer. What a weird thing to answer. What? You don't know? It's just... The dads in everyone's family? What? That's what you meant? Well, of course, everything ultimately comes down to the humans in the end. After all, humans are the only one living in the world. All strange things should be explainable in terms of human actions. I felt like I put that somewhat strangely, but Takono-san was not dissatisfied with that reply, as I might have guessed. Nice one. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good as well. I'm pretty tired, but yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think, I don't know, at the moment I kinda just wanna, chill, just sort of play this. Sorry, I just don't really like VCing while streaming, really. Oh, I was impressed that you've got under that at such a young age, you're right. But for real though, the people in this novel, they're so fucking mature. Like, oh yeah, sure. They're genuinely so mature. Strange has happened in the world of man, rule caused by a man for his own benefit. Suppose. It's an interesting way of looking at it. My Barakin, I'll ask you again. This time, not Santa Claus, but Oyasuno-sama. Do you know anything about Higurashi? I was like, yeah, she is. Takono-san took a step towards me and gazed into my eyes as she asked. Santa Claus was really the parents of every family's children. If lionizing that legend was a corporate tactic to try and profit during Christmas sales, then what was Oyasuno-sama really? Didn't we already say there are only humans in this world? Everything can be explained by human actions, right? Did this to yourself, okay? The string of freak deaths incidents attributed to Oyasuno-sama's curse. Takono-san's view is that they meet and premeditated homicides performed by people of Hinamizawa based on some kind of ceremony. Yeah, no, don't misunderstand me. My life's work is to improve research, teachings, thoughts, and culture from the viewpoint of folklorism. I don't really care about who the culprit really is. Just keep that in mind, please. I could tell she was saying some crazy stuff. To use a food analogy, like you were force-feed a duck to be fat, and she forced her words down my throat. That's what it felt like. To understand that in the first place, you have to go all the way back to the ancient times when Hinamizawa was called Higurashi, or the Demon's Abyss. Oh boy. Here's where shit's gonna hit the fan. The transcendents who lived there believed themselves to carry the blood of demons, and so were only half human. Takono-san, having entered her home field, leaned forward and began to speak of ridiculous matters. Tomitaka-san regarded she was overroaring me and interrupted for me. You can't just chat on about the stuff from my Barakin. I think he's really confused. Oh, why? Are you? If you want to hear more, ask me anytime. I have heaps of the grotesque stories that was your age. Well, I certainly can't object. I certainly can't deny this. I mean, why am I reading this? Because I fucking love the story. And this is kind of like, really dark. Arigato. I feel like I will live fine. I feel like if I feel like it will. And for now, I softly and safely gave my refusal. Takono-san seemed a little bit unhappy that Tomitaka-san had rained on her parade, but she stopped talking about it then. Even so, it was a very interesting story, that Oyasuno-sama's curse, which we thought to be of strange streak deaths, were really homicides perpetrated by people of this village. Well, I mean, if you thought about it logically, it would have to be. People would be dying because of a curse. Somebody's obviously killing people and making it look like one. Indeed, I suppose that is. It might not be safer not to try and find out. You seem like you know Takono-san. You may not have proof, but you seem like you believe it. Why do you think that? I just felt it vaguely. It didn't seem like her extreme passion for this research would calm down just because these things were taboo, or because it was safer and easier. The person loved walking through the profound, hidden abyss of risks and taboos. Because even at that case, I said we were escaping, now we're trying to talk about Oyasuno-sama again. I wanted to take a nice walk while we were still cool. Hello. Welcome back from the BRB. Tatarigoroshi. Oh, you could if you want. I mean, I don't know. If you want to, really. I will definitely not stop you. And before just like doing a speed run. Tatarigoroshi a little bit disappointed not to be able to go on the date he'd planned since I brought up my weird topic. Oh my god, date ruined. But right now, there was something I wanted to ask just for a little bit, and that was about whether Satoko's uncle will be choosing for the curse this year. Fun fact, if he was, then another miracle would happen just like last year. A terrible incident was happened, but it would release Satoko from her unfortunate circumstances once more. Well, I do have a few suspicions as to the kind of people who will probably be involved, of course. It's a natural, inevitable conclusion for anyone who's researched the history of Higurashi village. Is it? Oh, interesting. Who do you mean? What would I do if I knew? I asked that question to the other me deep inside, but can only reply. I'm enthusiastic. What would you like to know? Nothing really. Yeah, if you found out you might get into danger yourself, you know. Maybe this 5th year's curse would be you. Tatarigoroshi toying with the taboo gave me a devilish satisfied smile as though to say nothing in the world would be more amusing. Can you? What? How do you do that? Is it, I don't know, is it Bluetooth? Oh wait, I thought you meant like you could connect a second monitor to an iPad. Nah, that's cool. I always sort of do that with my other laptop. I just get my other laptop out, I don't know, get like a course or whatever I'm sort of studying at the moment, get it on there, constantly refer to it. It's amazing. Oh, that's cool. Name a level. Bro, for real, like I'm actually really lucky on the situation I have in terms of computers. Like, it's just, God, I couldn't have asked for a better one, really. Name a level. What's a cool level I like? That's a good question. Suppose. Oh my god, you should do like, no, I don't know. I'll tell you what could be interesting. Maybe the Lost Existence, because that has a lot of themes you can sort of, you know, really sort of try and be creative with. She's probably trying to tease me, but I didn't feel like going along with a little game one bit. You feel like you like to talk pretty big, but you don't really know yourself, do you, Tatarigoroshi? Oh yeah. I've heard a hinge of irritation that Tatarigoroshi proud of our way of speaking, but those emotions escape my mouth like water flowing out of a strainer. It's very interesting how, like, the more sort of stress he's getting about the, you know, the whole situation that's around him, the more, at the same time, the more harder he's finding it to sort of, you know, control this. Yeah, exactly, like, control his words, stuff like that. Even I was surprised at how directly I had spoken out about what I felt. Of course, I wasn't the only one taken aback. Oh my, you're something. You might just be able, but you can still provoke people. How unexpectedly rugged. I don't dislike people like that, you know. Oh, of course. Tatarigoroshi's tongue poked the tip of her mouth, and I was convinced that it was long, thin, and split in the middle like a snake's. Alright, I'll tell you then. But you have to promise me 3 things first. Wait, pause. Oh, so it's the backstory. Sorry, I forgot about that. But you have to promise me 3 things. 1, not to regret it no matter what I tell you. 2, not to tell it to anyone. 3, not to tell anyone I told you. Oh God. I gulped firmly and nodded. Tatarigoroshi made an exaggerated expression of distress, gave a dry, vague smile, and lit a cigarette. He smokes? Please tell me, who is putting this curse on people? Who is it? Who's deciding who gets cursed? And after I said that, I finally realised why I wanted to know. Oh no. I have a feeling it's kind of annoying whenever you play things like this because you always jump to the worst conclusion. Like, my mind is currently saying, like, Katie's trying to gonna try and murder Tepe. Something like that. He's gonna try and, like, you know, use that as an excuse. Many of my classmates were playing around freely in the schoolyard. A few of them had just run out of the school building after putting on their shoes and tapping their toes to the ground. It looked like they had just finished eating lunch. From the time manipulating standbys, I guess I succeeded. Oh, my Bada-san! Are you okay? A few girls noticed me and came running over. It was only natural they were worried. You'd think if someone wasn't there in the morning, they'd be out the rest of the day. Well, I'm just late for school. Yeah, probably like half the day late. Don't worry about it. Wait. Anyway, what about Satoko? Did he come today? The girls exchanged glances. I saw a thin shadow fall over their faces and knew the answer without needing to hear them reply. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. Alright. Yeah, don't worry. You got things to do. Satoko was absent today too. When all was said and done, after being out 3 days, she'd only come back for 1. And now she was out again. Who knows if she would come tomorrow. Yeah, but the teacher said she got a phone call from Satoko-chan. She said she had a cold. Tia-sensei said everybody should make sure to rinse their mouths out really well. Oh no. Oh, that's awful. Wait a minute, Tia-sensei? That's a little too thick-headed, don't you think? You're a teacher, aren't you? Why can't you be more sensitive when you catch on to the fact that your pupil is sending out an SOS? That's very interesting. Your pupil, not your parents, not your guardians. No, the pupil. And God. I was going to say something else. I was going to make another groundbreaking point. Yeah, why is she fucking skiving? I wonder. If you're wondering, I'm not actually wondering. We all know. We all know the sad truth. But even if she did, there was nothing we could hope for. The most she could ever do was a home. The most she could do was a home visitation. Huh? She didn't have any right to take Satoko from her uncle into safety. Oh, that's T.S. he's talking about. No matter the result, it would end up just like the public agencies with a wait-and-see attitude. It would just piss Satoko's uncle off, and her suffering would only grow deeper. Then wasn't saying she had a cold the best option. Oh my God. I do remember him. I don't know. I don't really speak to him at all anymore. He's not really. I don't know. He's just sort of one of these people that, like, as time goes, sort of lose the contact for, you know. But God, I certainly remember some weird things happening regarding that dude. Then wasn't I saying she had a cold the only best option? Yeah. She's right, be careful not to go too cold. Got it? You can go now. There's still plenty of time left in lunch break. The girls excitedly scattered into the schoolyard. Oh, Kitsuki! Oh, it's dinner. Adena was yelling out of the classroom window, waving her hand. A moment later, Mio and Odika-chan poked out their heads too. We were pretty worried that even you will be absent today. Thank goodness, you don't seem sick. You seem pretty okay. I felt a little uncomfortable with her saying that I didn't look sick, but I didn't care that much. What happened? Overslept? I wonder what is going to be said. She looks angry. It's weird. Well, late is late. Think if I said I was late because of a train accident, she let it slide. You overslept. Mion was being a little bit persistent. Was you going to put on her club president cap and scold me for being late? Well, maybe she didn't have it in it. She didn't have it in for me. So I really stated that she was right. There's still my bento. Everybody eat up. Did she even like did she even I don't know, did she even like what was I even gonna say? I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, I wonder if Katie actually made lunch for himself. Without Keiji-kun here, we couldn't have any fun. Satoko was still absent, huh? Even in our finding cheerfulness, couldn't stand to hear that, and her face darkened. She called this morning, apparently she said her cold had come back and she was staying home again. She said it might go on for a while too. Oh no. She made me sad, so we were all talking about going to visit. What are you saying, Rika-chan? Not pleased with Rika-chan wearing a wide smile as I thought it was a happy occasion. I threw cold water on her. Oh, damn. We know best of all she didn't have a cold, don't we? I don't even know. I'm gonna be real. I don't really remember much that happened, because I do remember there were a few, like, you know, just a few things of drama, but they were all a long time ago, and they were all really petty. And I think everyone, I'm sure he's grown up, and we've obviously, like, everyone involved's probably grown up. I just don't think. I think because I don't really know him now, I don't really want to, like, jump to any conclusions about him, because, like, you know, could just be holding a grudge, you know. Not something I really want to do. Oh my god, yeah. Bro, I remember those. No, I know. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine, like, Bill, or Dynamic even as well. God. Because the last time I talked to him was, like, when I was in, like, year 7 or 8. He's probably so much older now. God, that would be weird to think. We know, best of all, she doesn't have a cold, don't we? Don't ever tell her food like that again, even as a joke. I'll get mad next time. Rika-chan followed over her brow, looked down, and mumbled an apology. It's not just you, Keisuke. It's hard for everybody. I know I'm not the only one just worrying, but none of us can do anything either, can I? That's true, but I got the feeling I would cause another fight if this exchange went on, so I apologise first. Sorry, I'm sorry. So forget about what I just said. It's hard for everyone, right? It must be. It was at least clear, however, that I was the only one who had worried so much after rescuing her. About rescuing her. At the very least, everyone else probably got the normal amount of sleep last night. Probably had good dreams too. They definitely hadn't stayed all night thinking so desperately. Yeah. I know it might not be what you want to hear right after you go to school. But you later, Kei-chan. Did it have anything to do with Satoko being upset? Mion, what are you talking about? Oh, sometimes you act kind of foolhardy, Kei-chan. When both of you and her were absent this morning, we seriously thought you may have kidnapped her and hidden her somewhere. Oh god. I mean, I'm gonna be real. That's kind of fair. I mean, it could have been something that could have potentially happened. I mean, he was technically, I mean, I know he was thinking about having her stay around home, but if nobody realised that and just saw somebody secretly living in his house, then yeah, that could be seen as it. Easy for you to say. If I could have, I'd have done that last night. None of them had really thought about how difficult that clear as day solution was. I was up thinking all night, thinking until the night was brightening, and then I concluded that I couldn't do anything of the sort. Man's chugging. God, I love burping. It's like, I think whenever you finish a drink, just going like, ah, and then just doing a massive burp. I'll tell you what, if I ever drink, then I'm going to be a fucking champion at that. I don't want to drink, though. I don't want to drink, smoke, drugs, alcohol, none of that. None of it. Or vaping. None of it. Because the thing is, with addictions, they're so hard to give up. I just wouldn't really want to get into it, you know. Anyway, this has just got really weird, hasn't it? That's just, don't be dumb. I couldn't hide someone. You're right, I'm sorry. I apologize about it, so don't worry about it anyway. Let's eat some food. I'm starving. I took my bento box out of my bag. Everybody moved to make a spot for me to sit. Maebara-kun, did you just get here? As I was just about to stick my chopsticks in, and Chie Sensei came along. Yeah, sorry for being late. I overslept. What the heck? Even the teacher was giving me that strange look. When you finished eating, could you and the president come to the teacher's lounge? There's something I want to talk to you about. Oh shit, they really are in trouble. Probably about Satoko, I thought. Sensei left that and went back out into the hallway. Let's go, Mion. You're right. Mion and I exchanged looks, nodded to each other and got up. It's probably about Satoko-chan. No doubt about it. They were saying she had a cold, but everyone in class knew the truth. I didn't think that wouldn't have reached the teacher's ears by now. I kept laying down, so I think she gave up asking. God. Revealing the truth to the teacher would only worsen the situation. Was that why she hadn't said anything? Or was it because she was Satoko's friend and she knew that she was, and knew that she was trying to endure the trial of her uncle's abuse in order to get her brother to come home? Yeah. Suppose. I'm really interested about like where Satoshi actually went. Like, I wonder if you looked in the Sonozaki well, you know, that last location where. Oh god, that last ending of Watanagashi, that was so emotional. That was such a good story, but like, yeah. I wonder if you went into the well that Mion was dumped in and then the demon sort of reenacted her life in was where Satoshi was. Who knows? What should we do? Maybe we should use this as a chance to get to the collector of the venue. What do you want to do, Dika-chan? Me. Satoko's closest and best friend was Dika-chan. However much I pretended to be Anini, it just didn't come too close to her amount that they spent together. So I thought her opinion should be held in the highest regard. I know why Satoko was enduring her uncle's torture. Everybody looked startled and turned to me. Back then, whenever Satoko was abused, she probably cried and hid behind her brother. But Satoko thinks that in the end, that's why her brother ran away. Who did you hear that from? The coach, I bet. I know it quietly. Satoko believes her brother will come back if she can withstand the abuse. Maybe that's why she's trying to push through. God. But that assumption had nothing to do with Satoshi coming back. It has to say that Satoko. It's not about Satoko, but it's the truth. Yeah. Everybody on their heads, everybody was thinking the same thing. Satoko probably won't be happy no matter who helps her. She wants to withstand everything with her own strength. But it is really hard to respect that. Is it really right? Oh, is it really right to respect that? I don't think it is. Even if Satoko hates us for a while, I think there will come a time where she needs to say her against her will. And I think that time might be now. I told them all about what I saw and how I felt when I went to Satoko's house yesterday. Yeah. Keiichi-kun, so you think we should tell somebody? Of course, only after we're sure that reporting it to a public agency will guarantee her safety. Without being sure of that, it could just get more dangerous for her instead. It's a different problem. You can think that we get a definite promise out of the teacher? I had no confidence, but we had to try. Meanwhile, Dika-chan had her hand raised for a while as if asking for an opportunity to speak. I will leave it to Keiichi. What, is that okay then? Rika, even. Oh god, that's... Look at Mion's face. But like, yeah. Is that really a good idea, I wonder? Ah, GG. GG on the BG. Oh my god, it rhymes. Keiichi is thinking about Satoko more than anyone else here. If Keiichi thinks that we need to tell somebody, then I have no complaints. Thanks, Mion. Lena, you okay with that? Oh. Mion seemed to hesitate, not knowing if she should agree. But when we saw Elena's firm nod, she made up her mind and did the same. Okay, let's go, Mion. Right. God. Is it me, or like Mion's angry face does not look intimidating, but Elena's is like so much more serious? It's just kind of weird that. Only TS Center was in the teacher's lounge. We didn't see the principal anywhere. The schedule on the blackboard under the principal's name said training, gone straight home. Damn. When the skiving excuse. Our principal's sense of justice was just too strong. Satoko's problems wouldn't have been solved with something so vague. Maybe it was just a stroke of good luck that he wasn't there. When the teacher saw Mion and I come in, she closed up her curry bento, saving the rest of it for later. Of course, curry. Of course it's curry. Sit over there, please. She told us to take a seat in the chairs directly in front of the principal's seat. I hadn't sat in this chair since doing the paperwork for transferring in. Wait, so he actually had to do the paperwork? Damn. The two of us sat there uncomfortably before the teacher walked over carrying a notebook and a ballpoint pen and sat in front of us. Oh yeah, sorry. I read it but forgot to do it. Hold up. Let's see. Oh, nice. Interesting effects. Oh, I really like that. Oh, I love how you sort of edited the colours of these. Especially like the background where the portal is. It looked really dull before, but now it just looks positive. I think that's a really good like shot you took as well. It's all really similar, and you know it doesn't really have any sort of contrast. It doesn't really have anything that just completely takes your focus out. You can sort of all focus on one thing easier. Oh, that's cool. GG on the nail off the thumb. When the nail of the thumb. Maebara-kun, you were absent this morning. Did something happen? I'm sorry, I overslept. Really? I have no reason to lie. She narrowed her eyes at me in suspicion. Now I was sure of it. She wanted to talk about Satoko. In any case, I think you two already know, but your friend Hojo-san has been away frequently lately. Neither Mion nor I had anything to say in response, but the teacher proceeded, not minding. Would you happen to know anything? There were some people in class who were spreading bad rumours. Mion looked down and remained silent as though she were being lectured. She sent me a quick glance. Everybody had made up their minds. They were leaving things to me. Oh God. Mion-kun, or you, Maebara-kun? Won't get mad or anything, okay? If you know something, I just want you to tell me. Sensei, can we ask you a question first? She might not have anticipated that response. She looked surprised. I don't know what rumors are going around about Satoko in class, but if those rumors happen to be true, what would you do, Sensei? Well, whatever I do if it's true, then I can't leave it alone. Can't leave one alone exactly. What would you do? Sensei's eyebrows shot up. Maybe I said it like I was trying to pick a fight. Maebara-kun, I'm being serious right here. So am I. I wasn't being completely serious right now. Please answer me. If it were true, what wouldn't you leave alone? Sensei took a few breaths, then began to speak slowly. But first, I'd have to visit Hojo-san's house to confirm the situation. Her uncle might get mad and drive you away though. Well, okay. Let's say you did meet Satoko and her uncle. Then what? Then I'd ask whether it was true. Once I got the fact that you go from there. Please stop talking so vaguely. What exactly would you do? Even despite my tone being so provocative, Chie-sensei winked about her emotions and listened carefully. I thought then she was a good teacher. Chie-sensei really did have the students' best interests at heart, but she didn't have the power to or the authority to save Satoko. If she let her sense of justice run away with her, the situation could get more complex. Sensei folded her arms, and for a few moments she closed her eyes as though mentally concentrating. And when they opened again, there was a strictness in her eyes that I'd never seen before. There's a law called the Child Welfare Law. It clearly says that abuse against children will not be allowed no matter who it is. So it would seem then more. I'd gone with that. The Okinomiya Child Consultation Center. You say just now that I'll be turned away, didn't you? Child welfare officers can bring the police with them if the situation demands. They will not submit. They would not submit to intimidation. How many days would it take after you contact the social worker and submit the paperwork for her to be saved? It would be the same day. Oh, good. Their job is to guarantee the immediate safety of the children. I know that if they decide an urgent need. Oh no, if they didn't, then they do the same as you. They go from there and they just wait and see, right? They just watch. It made Satoko's uncle move sour and Satoko would be stuck with him there. Yeah, it's definitely worse. And Kei-chan was going a little too far. I'm not lying, not last year or the year before, whatever. That's exactly what happened when the child welfare people came, isn't it? And what happened then? You and Sensei would know about it a lot better than I would. Oh god, I had said too much. I didn't need Mjolnir to tell me that. I was just talking crazy and itching for a fight. Oh no, he shouldn't be doing this. I mean, the thing that's sad about all of this, what he thinks is crazy talk, it's all rational. It's all true. I was supposed to be telling her about the situation only after I was sure I could save Satoko, but I basically told everything, everything right from the start. Oh yeah, I should like. It's better. Happy to finally have sort of got it. Sensei, looking back at the clock, stood up and picked up the phone in the principal's seat. Moshi, an extension 3455, please. Is this okay, Kei-chan? Is this really okay? It was too late. The die had been cast. Now we can only pray. Thank you for answering my call. I'm Tia, a licensed teacher at the Hinamizawa Branch School. Would Director Watanabe happen to be in the guidance office? Yes, that's right. I swear I've heard like Watanabe as a surname before. I don't know where, but yeah, I have. Something urgent came up, so I'd like to contact the principal as soon as I can. Yes, thank you. Please tell him immediately. Yes, thank you. The teacher put down the phone and it tilted her head back and took a breath, and tilted her head back and took a breath like I always did. Oh, right. I'll ask the two of you again. Are the rumours going around class really true? Yes, yesterday I went to Satoko's house and I saw it myself, just bad, it really is. You can leave the rest of me, I'll definitely do something for Satoko-chan. Something, please saying such ambiguous things, not something we have to say. Oh, God, that phone sound! God, it's almost like real life, that phone sound. It scared me, like it would in real life. If they ended up deciding to wait and see again, how would you plan on taking responsibility? While I was yelling, the phone rang. Tia Sensei, it's nice to receive you right first. Hello, oh, I apologise for interrupting your training. Yeah, I think this is a little more important than that. Yes. Oh, this is the principal he's talking to. Actually, it's about the physical. Yeah. It was Satoko Hojo-san. Yes, Sensei waved us away, telling we could leave now. Mjolnir went to leave, but I held my ground. I had a responsibility to make sure she stopped saying such vague, ambiguous things. If it didn't look like she was going to say anything substantial, then I'd tell them the truth, even if I had to steal the phone from her. Yes, no, I haven't contacted them yet. Yes, I haven't confirmed it, but it seems pretty bad from what the children are saying. It's not just pretty bad, do something about it right now. If you're going to report it, then I don't care who you tell. But I swear, if they end up just waiting and watching, I will never forgive you. I yelled angrily at Sensei and the principal on the other end. I wanted to somehow, some way convey to them just how dangerous the situation was now. I understand. I'll tell them as much. Please take my keys back to the classroom. Yes, ma'am. Let's go, Kei-chan. We should leave this to the teachers now. You better promise. Until the very last moment I glared at Sensei. Tia Sensei was feeling pressured by the likes of me. Idiot, this isn't the time to feel pressured. Now's the time when you want to give me a firm nod and to reassure me. Yeah. Even so, we've already left things in our hands. At this point, we really can't do anything but pray. Bang, Mjolnir out the door to the teacher's lounge. Oh, wasn't expecting to see that. Oh, come on, I really want to read on. Well, yeah. Fuck, this is a really bad problem. Oh, that's the part they're finished? I didn't realise that. Well, yeah, we'll probably just go to the next day and then sleep. The dire fate have been cast. When the cheesy metaphor, let's go. Reporting to a public agency which we kept being warned could instead result in something far worse for satoko if we didn't have the evidence first. And just like that. Had I failed, had I let my emotions get the better of me in that moment? Maybe I should have stayed silent and left everything to Mimon since she had been relatively calm. I remember the punishment game where we had the bad mouth curry, and now me saying anything would have made it worse, and Satoko told us to leave the talking to her. Maybe it was just the same thing here. I was impulsive, so maybe I should have just shut up and looked at the floor, but it was too late to lament it. I'm gonna be real, I think he did the right thing. I really did. I think what he did, because now the teacher knows like how passionate everybody is about it. She's gonna not only feel pressured to take action, but secondly, she's gonna feel like, you know, she's gonna be benefiting a lot of people if she does it. So as a result, have more motivation to actually, you know, get people in their fucking place. But it was too late to lament it. The dire throne wouldn't be coming back into my hands. All we could do was pray for something good to happen. Yes, good. You did everything you could, so leave it to the teachers now. Everything I could, if I really did it, if I really gave it everything I had, I would have. If I had really struggled, I would have gone Satoko for home last night and hidden her in some sort of abandoned house. I didn't, so that means I haven't done everything I could have. Oh God, stop thinking about it all, right? You're being a little bit too persistent, Kirsky. At this rate, you'll collapse. Just leave me alone. I left her with those words and stayed lazily up at the ceiling. I wondered if I'd really got TSS to understand. Would the public agency intervene and solve everything within the day? Would they acknowledge the abuse and guarantee her safety? After lunch break, our afternoon classes were mostly self-study. The teacher came back to the classroom occasionally, but then the phone in the lounge would ring and she'd have a long conversation with the caller. Oh, interesting. Everyone in class got the feeling they knew what the phone calls were about. Oh God, she doesn't look happy. And Sisse came trotting back from the classroom. I'm really sorry for all the phone calls recently. Let's call it a day. President, please leave the class. Everybody stand up. He looked at me like Sisse had been wearing a dark expression ever since lunch break. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It wasn't a very relieving expression. It wouldn't be, even if Sisse 100% understood the situation and passively explained to the other person. At the end, the Child Constitution Centre as a public agency would be the ones to decide whether to get her to safety. It says I understood that as well as us. And that's why she looks so unreliable right now. God, my eyes. Oh, end of school. Get on, let's go home. I don't think anyone feels like having the club today. Yeah, I suppose it's not the same if everybody's not here as well. Miton, it's no fun if somebody's not here. Then I was right. It was no fun for us if somebody was missing. If the teacher's expression had shown me more promise, then maybe we could have gone home more comfortably, but I couldn't let myself feel relieved. Bro, neither can I. I feel kind of horrible because I'm enjoying this story. I'm actually enjoying playing it at the moment. It's really interesting just to, you know, see all the whole lore perspective, see what's actually happening. It's just so sad. I kind of feel horrible for actually like wanting to play this at the moment. I feel really, really fucking bad. I mean, it's just so genius how this story, it really just takes a problem and then it just makes it as bad as it can be. Like, this problem, I mean, I know it's a big problem, but this big problem is just going to cause stems of even bigger problems that maybe some of them won't even have a possible solution to. It's just really sad, this. But I wanna read on. I do. It's so well made, I couldn't not read on. It's just really fucking sad. But I couldn't let myself feel relieved. I couldn't be naive and tell myself all I can do is pray now that the dice have been cast, just in case they didn't get her to her safely and decided to wait and see again. I need to take further measures. We've asked the people who could do something to the official already. Then there was one more place that was worth asking for help. Really? She might laugh it off, but or I might be right. Or I could be endangering my own life, but I'll try. Oh, no. Is it okay if I stop by your place tonight? You've got a lot of manga, right? I want to borrow a bunch of them. Interesting. No, that can't be possible. No, there's no way he wants to investigate into Yasuda-sama's curse. No way. Because I know the Sonozakis are like behind a lot of the Yasuda-sama curse thing, probably. We don't even know that first. No, yes we do, because the well, but like, no, we don't. Oh my god. We don't know it because the well are of the people that you remember when Mion went into like demon mode. The people in the well were the only people that she'd actually affected. But what I was thinking is like, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, we don't even know if the Sonozakis have responded for Yasuda-sama's curse. Like, genuinely, you don't know. But I wonder if he's got onto Mion, and as a result, he wants to go to her house. Or maybe that's just like a secret way of saying, I want to talk. Sure, I guess. There was an ominous meaning behind my words, so Mion realised what I really meant right away. I wanted to talk about something alone, that's what I meant. Michan, let's go home. And then I already had her shoes on and was waving to us from the schoolyard. Mion's house was gigantic in every way imaginable. The house itself was a vaguely old-fashioned, traditional Japanese house, but the yard, I guess, or the plot of land was enormous. It easily convinced me that they really were made it landowners with Hinamazawa under their thumb. Mion brought me through the guest room and a servant brought us some tea. Wow, you really are rich, huh? You even got housekeepers. Grandma and I are the only ones who live here. I wouldn't be able to do everything myself. The servant left telling us it was 5 o'clock and then withdrew with soft footsteps. We have people coming to take care of Grandma and clean 2 or 3 times a week. Damn. They go on rotations of 3 or 4, so there's somebody else. There's someone here almost every day. Only until evening though. Oh, and if we're having a party or something where we need more help, we call up different people. If you have the money to hire all these people, then just take Satoko in. I led her as I thought it, and we all seemed to catch on immediately. Oh, sorry. It's fine. I know it's not a money problem. Just to be clear, my family may be rich, but it's not money that I can use freely for myself, okay? Ah, right. I don't want you to misunderstand that. It kind of looked like I was bullying her. Mion had been apologising to me a lot lately. Was Mion the sort of person who would do that this much? No, she's the opposite. And then ask the person with like the gomen nasai, shit like that. Maybe it's just that I've been looking so grim lately. So, what's up? You have something you want to talk about, right? Oh my god, I have something pretty serious to discuss now. Is it the type of manga he wants to be reading? Does he want to go out of his comfort zone or something like that? This will be sudden. You may be surprised, but I want you to hear me out. Huh? What? I will figure a way out first. Even if what I say is true, you don't need to admit it. You're allowed to play dumb, but I want you to listen to until the very end. I know you have something to say next. I have something to say to the next leader of what will happen to the most important of the 3 families of the Higurashi village, Sonozaki Mion. Oh shit. This could either go really wrong, or it's gonna go really okay. At first Mion looked like she had no idea what I was saying, but as hearing the first whole sentence and putting it together, she reacted. Where did you hear that? It really doesn't matter. I definitely couldn't tell her who told me. Takuma-san, you told me not to, but please forgive me. This is why I asked you about it after all. I was advising you just heard of Higurashi village, Kei-chan, but you seem to know a lot of things, both true or false, about me too. Yeah, true and false. I really just might have the whole wrong impression here, but I'm okay with that, so listen. And if it really is true, I don't know where you're getting at, Kei-chan, but let me say this beforehand. You've got a big misunderstanding, so if it wasn't what I wouldn't want to hear what you're about to say. Because even if you said it, I can't do anything to help you still. If talking about it will lighten your burden a little, I'll listen. I'm only just going to listen. Interesting. Nothing more will happen. Are you okay with that? Yeah, you also need to know the kind of thing I was talking about. She warned me that doing so would be fruitless. Fruitless? What an interesting word. Oh shit. GG. I don't know, you satisfied with the result? That much was obvious. If what I was going to say was true, then the Solozaki family will be the masterminds behind the string of freak deaths that have been occurring every year in Hinamazama. You know that stuff about Oyasuro-sama's curse, right? Sure, I will check the message off. Oh, that's cool. Wow. I really like that text. Wow. That's really interesting the way you've done it. Have you actually, like, the colours of the sort of text, they look like they're just sort of, they either look they're directly from the sort of cogs, or, oh my god, I hate that when I'm saying this, just really motivational music is playing, oh my god, but like, they look like the colours of the cogs just sort of placed into the text, and also that gradient. It doesn't look like it's been like sort of automatically added. It actually looks like it's sort of, you know, been made by hand. God, that is really cool. I like it. We all nodded a little. Nobody knows what it is or why it happens. Even if the incident is solved, the string of death from the accident as a whole is still a mystery. But there's one thing connecting them all, and that's how the targets are always enemies of the village. Seems like it. Mills because it didn't relate to her. That was fine. She didn't have to admit it for now. I just wanted her to stay quiet and listen to me. The day after tomorrow is what Tatarigoroshi, isn't it? Has the sacrifice for this year's curse been decided already? Mjolnir didn't answer. Her expression remained the same too. Odd. As she said, she was just quietly listening. Sorry, the bonus was that you just listen. So it would be weird to me to ask you a question. This is like, that would be such an awkward moment in a conversation if I was ever in it. Like, oh, you're not actually asking questions? Huh? You're not answering questions? Just no answer. Young gave me a look like she'd never given before, a faraway look, a sympathetic one. God, I love this music. She didn't nod, she just smiled faintly and tried to listen to me. If this year's curse isn't going to be on Satoko's uncle, then please change it to him. I mean, last year was her aunt, right? If it's in the right order, it's in the right order, so it wouldn't be weird. You're right, it seems like there's an order. I mean, after our uncle died from the curse last year, he abandoned Satoko and fled into town for a whole year. Why would a guy like that why wouldn't a guy like that be definitely the next on Oyasuro-sama's list? There shouldn't be any issue with choosing him for this year. I see. If we were to live in the curse this year, nobody would see anything unusual about it. I heard that Oyasuro-sama's curse as well. No matter how I looked at it, I wasn't sure whether I should continue. No matter how I tried, the words wouldn't come out. Oh shit. The string. Freak deaths in Hinamazama, also called Oyasuro-sama's curse. You're saying that the incidents perpetrated by the village carried out by the three families are the Sonozaki's instructions, is that it? That's really funny. I have a feeling she's had this accusation thrown at her so many times that she's said, fuck it. I'm just gonna like predict it. I am a surgeon, Dr. Hand. I don't get the reference, but congratulations. I don't even know. Bro. I am a sturgeon. I don't even know what a sturgeon is. I am a person that is playing a visual novel. I'm the coolest, obviously. I don't get one bit whenever you have anything to do with it. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, well, Mr. Surgeon. How's it going, bro? You good? I don't get one bit whether you had anything to do with it. I'm just saying, if you have any way of communicating with whoever decides the targets of the curse, then I just want you to know to call Satoko's uncle, please. Everything you've been saying has been terrible. If the three deaths in Shidazi Namazawa were carried out by the will of the Sonozaki family, that would mean the main culprit would be me, wouldn't it? What about your mum? I would have chosen the culprit of the curse given the instructions to kill many people in common with others. Who proved me a murderer, Keichan? Oh, you actually got the main one. He just looks like he has something really weird in his mouth at the end there. That's weird. Yeah. Damn. That is a very odd meme. Where's that actually from? Is that like a popular meme at the moment? Oh, I've never heard of that. Is that like a, I don't know, it kind of sounds like a TV series, in my opinion at least. I didn't say that. Didn't you listen to me? I don't get whether you're the one behind the murders or not. I just don't. Even if you're the culprit, it doesn't change the fact that you're my friend. Damn. It doesn't matter at all. If the police were chasing you, they come to help. I made you an alibi and even help you escape. Because we're friends and comrades, aren't we? Mion looked so surprised for a while. She was dumbfounded. Now you're declaring yourself complicit? Yes, that's pretty bold of you. Come on, don't interrupt Satoko's uncle. Choosing for... Stop there. I want you to start on dinner. I want to start on dinner soon, so I like to leave things at this. Oh god, that's the troubling thing about this. It's just so unfinished. I mean... Mion's not gonna leak all of her secrets, but like, god, she can't. That's the thing. Mion. I then realised my cheeks were wet with tears. They slid down my chin and fell, drip onto the tatami mat. It's like I said at the start, you got a big misunderstanding. Oyashiro-sama's guess, it's just that. Even if there were people behind the incidents, they don't have anything to do with the Sonozaki family, or me either. That can't be true. Right, I understand that. It's just... it was touching to hear such a desperate plea, Keichan, but that was really all it was. Even if I wanted to help, I can't. You understand that too, right? Yeah. But now I know how you feel, so when it hurts. If I really were, like you said, the one controlling the three families and choosing the sacrifices every year, I'd probably grant your wishes. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, I can imagine those dickheads who make fun of, you know, just autism, stuff like that, special things related to that sort of field, really. Just thriving on opportunities like that. I think there is a movie called The Good Doctor, but... oh, interesting. Oh, it's a series, right. Interesting. I'll see if my friends know about it, because I have a friend at school. He literally no-lifes any sort of media. Just, my god. He is, I think the list of things he's watched is literally longer than my fucking arm. He's watched so much. I mean, I'm sure he's watched it. He could probably give me some insight onto what it actually is. Meow. But the reality is different. I'm just Sonozaki Mion. My family may be the subject of all sorts of bad rumors about controlling Hinamizawa from the shadows, but we have nothing to do with the freak death incident? That's weird. I mean, she doesn't sound like she's lying as well. We may have been a little extreme during the down war, but that's all. We would never do something so insane to kill him. But that kind of contradicts itself though, because in the Dam War, the Sonozaki family did kill people. This is our side of things right now, at least. I don't care. Why can't you just be nice and lie to me? Kei-chan, you're free to believe what you like. If I lied to you right now, you'd be convinced Satoko will be free the night after tomorrow and you'll be able to shed much of your burden. However, reality is hard. Satoko will survive beyond that day. He'd still be alive next week and the week after that. You need to prepare yourself for that. I don't want you coming to me the day after Watanagasi and demanding to know why he wasn't killed. Mion. Oh. Mion stood up slowly and closed the sliding door to keep on the weather. It had grown chilly. Oh, right. Was it Mion-san? Did she give you all these ideas? You wouldn't have to misunderstand things about Hinamizawa. Gosh, she even knew. Wow. Well, we can at least let her have fun. But I don't really want her really influencing you, Kei-chan. Jeez, this is why outsiders are no good. Tatarigoroshi has nothing to do with it. Right, don't worry. Even though I know she told you about it, Kei-chan, nothing's gonna happen. It's not like Mion-san will be chosen for this year's curse. It's really odd how the years of the curse are chosen. It's always really interesting how the 5th year always acts as a pivot for just the future, really. Like, what's gonna happen? What? Where's Montana? Is that like a state in America or something? Must be a very small one if only 2 people live there. Ah, right. God. Isn't that sad, man? Like, a social media platform causing so much sort of disrupt to society that they'd actually ban it. Ah, right. But that's tiny in America. I mean, do you know what, like, the overall population for America is? Because I'm clueless. Besides, we don't even know for sure if the curse will happen this year. Maybe it was all just a viral unfortunate coincidences. That's impossible. Thanks for listening. If you aren't connected to the serial deaths at all, then that must have been an uncomfortable conversation. I'll apologise for it. I see, you'll apologise for it. That's weird. It's just a weird thing to say. After apologising, Mion says she didn't have much time, but she still brought me to the gate. She said she had a meeting or something today about Sunday's Watanagasi festival, so there will be a lot of people from the town council and the Festi committee coming. Despite her day being so busy, she still listened to what I had to say. Good for her. If there's a God in heaven, then he probably understands how strongly you feel. Yeah, I'm really sorry for being so weird today. You can pretend like this yourself and it'll never happen if you wanted. Okay, I'll forget about it. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye. I really only spent a short time with Mion. Talking to her made me think. It was clear that what Takuno-san had told me, at least, wasn't a complete fabrication. If Mion was really, really unconnected to these incidents, then she probably wouldn't have listened to me so quietly. She held me out until I was done without making any quips, and I wanted to think that was proof. I mean, you could think it was proof, but yeah, I know, like, for real. You can't really have it determined, you don't know. Oh. No way. 330 million only live in America. I would have thought it'd easily be in the billions. Wow. That's actually really surprising to me. God, I really thought... I mean, when we're saying this, are you talking about like North and South America combined? Or are you just talking about North America? I did kind of feel like I was grasping at scores. Of course, thinking back on it, it was a terrible thing to discuss. Maybe there's more people in more people in the whole of America than, I don't know. Doesn't Brazil have like a really big population? Because I actually know a lot about Brazil because we did it in geography. Like we learned about all the various different landmarks and obviously favelas, injustices, stuff like that. God, those favelas look fucking rough. They really do. It must be very interesting to live on, but at the same time I just fucking hate it. And it must be awful. Of course, thinking back on it, it was a terrible thing to discuss. I mean, I went to my friend's house, called her a serial murderer, and then told her to kill Satoko's uncle. I was the only one talking that whole time. No one quite listened to everything I had to say, like a pastor listening to a confession. She could have gotten angry partway through, told me off, and to go wash my face in miso soup and come back later. Why that? Because he didn't. Was that proof that Mion's family, the Sonzaki, were the masterminds? Ah, right, okay. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Or was he just listening because he felt sorry for me going kind of crazy? I didn't know which one it was, but it was the one effort I could make at the moment. It was another form of insurance, should worse come to worse, and the public agency decided to wait and see. Oh shit. Yeah, see you, dude. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, I need sleep as well. Like, second this day ends, I'm going straight to bed. I need to get up at 5 a.m. as well, because I need to do some, like, last minute revision for a biology test. Oh, God. It's going to be hell, but yeah, I guess. Yeah, see you, dude. I don't know, I didn't really watch it. My Eurovision is, like, one of those things that are sort of outlawed in my family. Like, even if I did like Eurovision, even if, like, my parents like it so little that I wouldn't be able to sort of get away with it, really. But it's fine, because, like, nobody likes it. Nobody just wants to sort of see it. And I didn't even watch it as a result. Like, I just feel like, even if I did say I'd like it, which I probably wouldn't, like, it'd just be completely outlawed, I just don't really care about the whole Eurovision, and I'm going to be real, I think a lot of popular music that's really, really famous is just arse. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of it's sung really well, mixed perfectly, of course. Perfect instruments, perfect sounds, but just not good. Oh, interesting. I don't even know what Sweden did. I'm not assuming they did Caramella Dancing. Oh my god, I hate making that joke. That's the only Swedish song I know. Was another form of insurance. Should the worst come to the worst, and the public agency decided to wait and see. Yeah, probably. It was a completely useless resistance, literally grasping at straws. Said that if she reported it to the Constitution Centre, they'd have to respond on the same day. Could they already be in the middle of responding to it now? If Satoko came to school tomorrow morning all energetic, then everything would just be a needless fear. But he knows that's not going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen, like, on the actual Watanagashi. Is Satoko maybe going to come and visit everyone? Who knows? Why couldn't tomorrow come faster? That night was unusually hot and humid, and I couldn't get to sleep. I said all that to Sensei. They couldn't possibly decide to wait and see again this year. Satoko, what would it be like for her tonight? God, so we spent this entire day worrying about it. I know Yasuda-sama's curse, and then, yeah, just everything, really. I feel so bad for him. I mean, this really hits him later on, I'm sure. It really has hit him. Now, has he tasted the end of a nightmare, enjoying a night of liberation? I hope so. I actually put my hands together and prayed into my dawn. Oh, this is the third chapter. I think I'm probably like half away in. We're in sort of the part, where shit gets real, shit gets problematic. This story is actually really fucking sad. I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. I have a feeling maybe like less than halfway. Oh, no. No, like, I've only done like maybe 3 streams of the 3rd chapter. Because I've done like probably like 20 streams of like every single chapter, but this 3rd chapter I've only played since maybe Sunday. Good morning, Geskin. Morning. Thank goodness. I thought your end was that today too. Oh. Oh no, see, the thing is, each chapter is actually split into a sub-series of games. So, yeah, this chapter, I am probably halfway through this game, which is also this chapter. I think I'm 3 out of 9. I've actually completed 2 out of 9 of the visual novel games in the series so far. Thank goodness, I thought you was that today too. Your mum said you gone on ahead yesterday and then you weren't at school. I was worried that you had gotten heat stroke halfway there. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm very sorry for all the worry I caused you yesterday. Hey. Good morning. Mi-chan, good morning. Are you alright? You look really tired. Oh yeah, wasn't there a big business meeting with all the people in the town council yesterday? They already called it that. It was more like a party. We have the festival every year, right? We wouldn't have any annoying meetings at this point. Are you going to have one with the festival this afternoon then? Yep, I have to do a meeting with all sorts of people in Grandma's place. They've already started setting up for the festival. Oh damn. Our morning conversation was still light-hearted as usual. It looked like Myeon had thankfully forgotten about how I barged into her house yesterday with that crazy talk. The more I think back on it, I felt like I'd really said something terrible to her. I was really thoughtless and it wouldn't have been weird. It would have, wait, why did it? If she yelled at me. It was highly possible Takano-san had exaggerated her story to think that our comrade and friend Myo, that non-leader of the Sonozakis, one of the 3 families effectively controlling Hinamizawa, was pulling the strings behind the serial death instance, was a little bit unbelievable. Yeah, but if there was even 1% chance that it was true, then what I said yesterday to Myo might have been a success. Yes, it was no more than 1 in 100, but that little bit of effort might have brought the chances of saving Satoko up by even a tiny bit. Oh, I hope so. At least I made that effort. After yesterday ended, I was sure I'd done everything I possibly could. If there was something else I could do, it would probably just clap into my hands and pray that Satoko's uncle would be killed by the curse. I hope Satoko makes it today. Gross, same. Me too. Sensei is doing things for her, right? I hope it will be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. My aunt is a welfare agent in Hinamizawa district. Oh. I gave her a call last night. Oh, I didn't know your mum was a welfare officer. What happened? Did you go or hear about Satoko-chan? Yep, Tia Sensei called the Okinomiya Child Constitution Center right after we talked to her. The child welfare officers apparently visited before the night was over. Oh. My aunt said they were going to pay visits at regular intervals from now on. Enough with the dumb little stuff. I wanted to know what happened to Satoko. Did they get her safe? Mom wasn't really that informed about it. I was supposed to keep this a secret anyway. I was telling me it was a big breach of ethics in the first place. Was it? What? I don't understand ethics at all. I couldn't even begin to sort of ask why. Damn, that makes me feel even worse. Let's get to school. Right, discussing this more would just make us feel worse. It was far quicker to go to school and see if Satoko was safe or not. The 3 of us nodded and ran off. Was Satoko safe? What measurements had the Child's Constitution Center taken? Oh, interesting. What is it? Oh my god. Wait, so they're trying to get videos of every single rated level that's actually on the servers? That's insane if that's the case, because that's a big fucking project. Wow. God. I feel sorry for the people trying to do that. Wow. What measure did the Child Constitution Center take? And Jesus. It's not going to stop there as well. That's the funnier thing. I bet you it's easily going to go to 15k. I didn't care what, as long as we could get to our peaceful life with Satoko. It didn't matter to me. As the two eyes at the entrance, then I took a peek in Satoko's shoe cubby. Oh, Satoko's shoes are here. They're here. Oh. Yeah. Keitsuki Satoko. We don't know if anything happened just because she came to school. We can't know anything until we see her face. We trotted up towards the classroom. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, see you, Ro. Really hope you have a good one. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream as well. The classroom was lively, as it usually was in the morning. Satoko, where are you? Meep, she's right here. It's too early in the morning to be so loud. Would you please keep it down a little bit? Satoko-chan, are you okay? Oh, that's really good to hear. All of our friends crowded around Satoko excitedly. So, Satoko, how did it go at your house? Who did it call them? I swear, it was quite a mess, you know. It was the teacher. You were absent for so long, of course she was worried. Satoko said, I told you I'm fine, under her breath. She was still trying to overcome all the suffering on her own. It was a big brother to both me. It was a big bother to both me and my uncle. That person just passed in on us suddenly, jeez. Oh no, everybody was worried about you, Satoko. Don't say it was a bother. Oh jeez, anyway, what happened? Nothing happened. Oh, my phone got better so I came back to school, that's all. I can't take too much time off from now on because they will worry about me. What was Satoko saying? What happened to your uncle? Oh, we admitted there was some misunderstandings and we both apologized. Oh, what a bastard. Of course he lied. Tug, Higurashi grabbed the back of my collar and pulled me away. Oh, what is it, Higurashi? Higurashi suddenly dragged me all the way into the hallway. Higurashi, what did that mean? Satoko said nothing was happening and chased them away. Oh, that's sad. That idiot. But why? No, somewhere in my mind I thought it might turn out like this. Satoko didn't ask for anyone's help. She didn't hide behind anyone. She was trying to ride out this pain. She wanted to show Satoshi proof that if he came back to them, she wouldn't need to hide behind him anymore. Because immigration officers can bring her to safety in an emergency, even if it's against her wishes. However, Satoko denies the abuse. It's still a fact. Yeah. Tears as it finally came, her expression was far from cheerful. Yes, you're right, Mahabalaki. If the child whether officer determines that it's an emergency, they have the right to immediately take them to safety, regardless of the affected party's intent. Then why is Satoko's intent being respected so much? It's weird. Why don't they just put her into safety? Well, after looking into it from many angles, that's what the Okinomiya child consultation said determined. Oh. What the hell is that? Says it, didn't you say it was going to be alright since you definitely saved her? What's the meaning of this? Keiichi, this is actually the third time it happened. Twice in the... Twice? Fuck, I only thought it happened once. Furude-san. It says it's right to stop her, but he got on when I'm speaking. Anyway. Twice before I had decided to wait and see after reporting it to the window before last, but it happened before then too? Satoko's father who died wasn't that real? What? Jesus, my phone just rumbled and I fucking got terrified. Higurashi, that's what? I was done with a sudden revelation. I had no idea what Higurashi wanted to tell me, but it seemed really important, so I couldn't get a word in either. Satoko's mother remarried. She brought Satoko and Satoshi with her, so they weren't related by blood to their father. Oh, interesting. Satoshi was a good kid, one who listened to politely to what adults told him. He was immediately welcomed by their new father and was loved. Oh god, but Satoko was different? What? She was rebellious and she told lies, she played pranks. A stepfather didn't like her at all. Oh, that's even worse. What? So, what do you mean?
どういうこと
satoko は
Even before she was
おじ夫婦に
given,
預けられる以前
even
の
before
家
she was
族の
given to
時
her
も
uncle and his
あま
wife,
り良好な
Sadako
家
didn't
族
have a
関
very
係で
good
はなかっ
relationship
たの
with
で
her
す。
family. Of course, her stepfather didn't have any malicious intent at the start. At first, he must have worked hard to get his new daughter to accept him. But the young Sadako didn't make any effort at all towards that end. She was distant toward her stepfather and never opened her heart to him, even a little. Oh fuck. She just got on his nerves all the time with seemingly forced lies and pranks. Her father's discipline and punishment must have been loving at first, of course, but that too faded quickly. I don't know because I wasn't in Hinamizawa at that time, but I learned this on the phone
先生が
yesterday.
聞いたのはどんな話ですか？
What story did you hear, Sensei?
さとこちゃんが
That
病
Sadako
死
wanted
特
to
に
trick her
義理
parents,
のお父
especially
さ
her
んを
stepfather,
陥れ
so
るのを目
she made
的
up a
自分
false
で
story
生活
involved
相
in...
談所に電話したって。
Oh no! Part of the job was some patients and herself. Shit! She made up a story about hurting herself?
satoko は
Sadako made a phone call
嫌いなお
to
父
get
さ
rid
んを
of
追
the
い払
father
う
she
ため
hated.
嘘の電話をしたのです。
Oh god. However, I was as rest there and had heard the story. However, I genuinely apologised a few times when he got too far and agreed to let the child wear fairs into give him
いろい
coaching.
ろと
Related
関係
agencies
機関
looked
が
into it
好
quite a
き
bit.
とさ
They
とこちゃん
determined
の
that Sadako
心のすれ違いに
stepfather's
原因がある
heart
こと
not
は
being
分か
quite
ったんだ
matched
け
up
ど、
was the cause of the
そ
incident.
れ以上
But they
に
found out another problem
さとこ
above
ちゃん
that
自
from
身にも
Sadako chan.
さとこに
The
問題っ
problem
て
with Sadako, what was
何で
it?
す？
Sadako's mother, there were a few times where she had lived with the de facto husbands, though those relationships didn't result in remarriage. From a young age, Sadako had been forced to call at least 2 or 3 people her father. God. At some point, Sadako's pranks escalated. She would spill food on purpose, turn over her plate, and even throw it. Damn. She would break the windows in the neighbourhood and shoplift candy. Fucking hell. This kid is rogue. She would put thumbtacks everywhere and set other traps to seriously hurt people. Not in the way she did now, just to get laughs. She was also fond of telling lies that would be found out right away, and people got mad at her every time, but she would never ever changed her behaviour. So what changed?
さとこちゃんのことを問題児なんて、これは幼いさとこちゃんが
Sadako-chan was young,
母
those
親
were
を知ら
active
ない男に
self-defense
取
that
られ
she
まい
took
と
on,
して取った
so these unknown
自
men
衛
wouldn't
的
take
な
her
行
mother
為な
from
の。
her. Oh, interesting. What happened to her mother though? In regards to Satoko's problematic behaviour, child psychology experts from public institutions indicated her actions were to draw her mother's attention to herself. They acknowledged that she had a form of harmful emotional trauma and declared that she needed counselling and therapy. Oh god, that must be so tricky. They didn't know whether the therapy had healed the wounds in her heart. Satoko-chan
わざと体に傷を作
purposely
り、
hurt herself and
お
told
父さんに
them
虐
that
待
she
を
was
受け
being
てい
abused
る
by her stepfather in an attempt to chase
自
him
分で通報して
out.
でも
Oh fuck.
結局
But in the
さとこを
end,
いじめてたわけだろ。
stepfather did
その
abuse
寄
her.
付は
What?
虐
No,
待の
all
話
the
は全
abuse
部
had been made up by
さと
Satoko-chan.
こちゃんの作り話だった。
Oh no.
義理のお父さんはもちろ
Stepfather
ん
of course
少
may
し感情的な叱り方をしてしまったかもしれないけど、
have scolded her in a somewhat emotional way, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. Sadako had lied to chase away her stepfather, and they saw through it right away and found out that Satoko had issues. Oh,
ひょっと
could
し
it
て
be that's why the winter
そ
before
の
last
せい
they
で
decided to wait and
一昨年
see?
の冬は様子見に
I suppose, but I don't know.
はい。ちゃんと昔の記録が残ってます。satokoの嘘の可能性もあるから慎重
Carefully
に。
instead, in case Satoko was
なんだ
lying.
よそれ。
What the
つま
hell?
り
So
Satoko は
Satoko might be
嘘
telling
を
the
つくかも
lies
しれ
and
な
they
いから
needed to be
だ
careful.
から
So how does that mean they'd
様
just
子
end
を見ろ
up
って
waiting
こ
and
とに
seeing?
なってんのかよ。
狼と羊飼いさんなのです。
Yeah, I was actually thinking of that exact story, so that's kind of funny. That fable about telling a lie once, making others unwilling to believe you later. That's bullshit. The past had nothing to do with this, does it?
今現在起こってる事実
And
だ
what's
け
really
が重
happening
要
now
だ。
is
サトコは
important.
おじに
Satoko
虐
is
待
being
されて
abused
ど
by
う
a
して
woman.
その事実が
Why is
昔の出
something
来
that
事で
happened in the
歪め
past
られ
getting
な
in
きゃ
the
なら
way
ねえ
of
んだ
helping
よ。
her now? Neither Sensei nor Rika-san had anything to say about that.
そ
Anyway,
れを
yesterday a
慎重に
progression
判断するために
visited to
保
carefully
護士さ
determine
んが
what was
昨日
going
訪
on.
れましたのです。
And Sadako dealt with them, put on the best, strongest smile she could manage and denied the abuse. Oh shit. Oh, that's awful. I just don't get why you do it to yourself. I mean, even if you were being as noble as she is trying to be, like, I still just don't see why you do it. Of course, she was probably being threatened to keep quiet about her uncle. Satoko was trying to outlast everything without asking for help. Satoko wanted to wait for Satoshi to come back home. And she's right, oh no, I didn't know the truth of the abuse. What an idiot. You're not really enjoying it. Do you really think pretending like this will actually bring Satoshi back? Just stop it already, Satoshi. He abandoned you. I mean, he doesn't know that, but like, could be possible. And the fact that he hasn't shown up to save you now is proof, isn't it? So just stop it. Stop being when and pretend to endure it.
今した話
Forget
は
anything we just said.
いいですね。
Understand?
他の子に喋っ
If you
た
tell
ら
anyone else,
先
your
生
teacher will be very
怒り
mad
ます
with
から
you.
ね。
Tia Sensei gave me a warning, then left to go to the teacher's lounge.
サトコ
Katie,
のこ
please
と
don't
を
think Satoko is a
かわい
pathetic,
そうな
pitiful
こと
girl.
サトコは
She's
サ
living
トコ
life.
そん
She's,
なの分かって
I
る
know that she's our
俺たちね
irreplaceable friend.
サトコは
And Satoko is still trying her best. Let's watch her over a little
相
longer.
談所の
The
人が
battle on the consultation
今後も
center
定
said
期的に訪問すると言って大変なことになった
if
ら
something terrible happens, they'll
すぐに
help her
助けて
right
くれま
away.
すよ
Yeah. I suppose that's all they can do, they can hope.
大変なことになった後
Only after it happens. Any more than that would have sounded like I was picking a fight, so I firmly swallowed my next words and went back to the classroom. Mio and I don't know were talking to Satoko like they always did. It was a silly conversation, a humorous, even fun one, like it was any old day. If Satoko really said she could still endure it, then maybe I should do as Sukasan said and watch over her. Maybe whatever help I offer will just go unwanted. Oh god. I really want to read on, but like the thing is, I actually kind of need to go to bed earlier tonight. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it a day here. Also, it's end of break.
お昼でございますわね
Okay, why don't we all have lunch? It's gonna be a good place to leave it at, I suppose. So, yeah, that was very interesting. I'm gonna be really interested into seeing how this tale's actually gonna escalate. I really hope it's gonna. You know, obviously, who doesn't hope that the best of the best isn't going to happen? But yeah, there's no way of telling. There really isn't. So yeah, just see what happens. Really, see if we can maybe get a good ending to this. But I have a feeling that's unlikely. But yeah, see what happens. Really, it's going to be very interesting to see like what we're going to do tomorrow. I mean. I hope tomorrow I'm going to have more time to play, because I'm going to be real, I really want to finish. I really want to do more today, but I just can't because, yeah, school is more important than this ultimately, so, yeah. Well, that's kind of annoying. I have a test tomorrow. Just my entire plans are just destroyed thanks to it. So, yeah, I'm going to go to bed now. I really hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I certainly did. So, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, I'm really excited for tomorrow. I just find it such a shame that this story. I mean, okay, I'm gonna be real. I could just go into a wild trance about how fucking sad this story is, but you guys already know it. There's no point. So yeah, I'm gonna go now and see ya.